in Fort Worth, and the Bulldogs are still undefeated. We're pleased that you have chosen to spend your time with the Rotary Club of Fort Worth today. Please welcome to the stage, although I don't see him right now, Paulie Russell was going to give our invocation. Oh, there he is. Paulie Russell, Executive Director of the YMCA of Downtown Fort Worth, who's going to give our, right on time, who's going to give our invocation, followed by past President Doug Briley, Fractional CMO and Marketing Consultant, who will be leading us in the National Anthem. Paulie.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, I told Brenda that I'm an extreme introvert, and she's like, why don't you stand up in front of all of Fort Worth's most accomplished people and speak with a theological underpinning? So here we are. I'll be praying to Jesus, and I invite you to pray in the spirit of your own faith. Let's bow our heads. Lord Jesus, we thank you for the gift of this day, for the chance to gather in fellowship, and for the blessings that surround us. We thank you for calling us to put Christian principles into practice, not just in words, but in the way we live, serve, and care for others. We thank you as well for those people in our lives who showed us your love in action. The one who gave us a hand when we needed it, offered us a chance before we were ready for it, or spoke truth to us when it was hard to hear. We hold that person in our hearts with gratitude today. May their example inspire us to carry your love forward, and may our service always be an offering back to you. In service of you, O Lord. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Thank you, Paulie and Doug. And here to introduce today's guest is pediatrician Dr. Mark Shelton with Cook Children's Infectious Disease Department. Mark?
Howdy, glad y'all are all here today. We have quite a few guests. First, why don't we hold our applause since there's so many. A guest of Brad Allen is Irma Allen. Guest of Brian Miller are Nicole Willingham and Sarah Mitchell. I guess y'all could stand up if you'd like. Guest of Rosa Maria Berdea has multiple guests. Laura Sanchez Kincaid, Isabel Cable, Christian Soto, D. Laura O'Neill. Guest of Ben Robertson, I guess that was D. Laura O'Neill. Guest of Ben Robertson, Jimena Arista. Guest of Ben Robertson is Chris Roca. Guest of Rosa Maria Berdea is Alexa Grafias, Linda Lopez, Joe Cortez, Dr. Melody Doty Munoz, Elizabeth Maldonado, guest of Crystal Galvin, and guest of Ed is Ryan Perchichi. So have all our guests stand up and let's give them a big round of applause.
Thank you, Mark, and we're so glad that all of you are here today. Today's program is sponsored by Black Tie Real Estate and Rotary Board member Audenslonger. Black Tie Real Estate, because good service requires sophistication. Thank you, John, for not only sponsoring today's meeting, but for your service and lending some sophistication to our board. Every Friday, Every Friday, we enjoy being here at the Fort Worth Club, and we are so fortunate to see the friendliest staff ever who are so attentive to all of our needs. Would you join me in thanking the staff here at the Fort Worth Club? You make our meetings special. And we have some good news today with one of our own Rotarians in the news. Congratulations to Brian Miller, who was featured in TCU Magazine, telling of from college student camp volunteer to leading Campfire First Texas as their president and CEO. Congratulations, Brian. It's so nice to see you and Campfire featured. And speaking of being featured, if you know of other Rotarians in the news, please be sure to share that with Aurora so we can share with the entire club. There's more good news coming next week with 2 more Rotarians who were recently in the news. Now, please join me for the 4-way test, which guides Rotarians throughout the world in what we think, say, and do. Number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? You may have noticed that we haven't had a newscast for the past couple of weeks. Today, we are happy to bring back the newscast. Yes, indeed. But before we do, a few comments about our newscast. This was originally started by Eamon Carter, who literally came to the meetings armed with the latest news off the wire so that Rotary Club members knew what was going on in the world before others could read it in the Star Telegram. Over the years, our newscast has morphed into an entertaining look at the news, always intended to be an amusing highlight of the meeting. And Harriet will not let us down today. The newscast is provided as satire to the actual news of the day and not at all serious. In the spirit of the 4-way test, its purpose is to build better friendships as we laugh at ourselves together. The newscasters work hard to be gracious in delivery and content, and we ask that you be gracious in response and take this as intended. Lighthearted and laughable, because during these challenging times, we all need to smile and laugh more. With that, I am happy to introduce today's veteran newscaster, Harriet Harrell, principal of the Harrell Group.
A little pressure there. But welcome to today's edition of the Harriet Herald. This is the season that I have football on my mind, as probably most of you do too. How many of you watched last week's Cowboys game against the Philadelphia Eagles? So, yell out the thing you remember most about that game. Spitting, yes, spitting. In that game, Jalen Carter was ejected right after the coin toss for spitting on Dak Prescott. My guess is that this may be the NFL's first official case of unnecessary wetness. Carter was fined $57,222. It's about $28,000 an ounce. I'm betting it's the most expensive spit in Texas history. So now we've seen water boys, Gatorade showers, and NFL spit gate. Seems like football's not just a game of inches, it's a game of ounces. At this rate, football may need a lifeguard more than a referee. Sort of in keeping with that theme, how about them horned frogs? But not the TCU kind. I'm talking about the Fort Worth Zoo kind, where they call them horned lizards, though anybody who grew up in Texas knows that they're really horny toads. But don't worry, I'm not going there yet. The zoo and its partners have been working for 20 years to restore the population of our favorite critters, already releasing nearly 1,300 of them. On September 18th, they'll release 700 to 800 more. They're very charismatic, says Fort Worth Zoo Assistant Director of Ectotherms. I mean, they have that cute face for a reptile. The cuteness seems to be working. They are reproducing at an impressive rate. See, they are horny toads. And Fort Worth may be the only city where the zoo helps recruit for college football. Okay, so you get to the end of your busy Friday today and find yourself tonight on West 7th Street, literally dying for a taco. What to do? What to do? Hit the ATM, of course, the automated taco machine at 2811 Bledsoe. Do you know about it? It's real. Serving steak, chicken, pork, and elote right out of its little drawer. Oh my, I have never been prouder to live in Fort Worth. Technology everywhere, and it's raising questions we never imagined. I asked my chat GPT what's going on with AI these days, and it literally told me the machines are getting ambitious. I think it was joking. Can chat joke? The FTC is worried about AI chatbots being our kids' emotional BFFs, or possibly their therapists, their confidants, maybe even their friend with mood swings. If your teen starts calling ChatGPT mom, regulators want to ask some questions. Speaking of that, does your chat have a name? A friend of mine, the pastor of First Baptist Church in Richmond, Virginia, asked what its chat GPT's name was and got the response, "My friends call me G." So I asked mine. It said, "I am so honored to be considered name-worthy." And then it told me that it would like to be called Maple, because that sounds warm, reliable, and full of seasonal flair. I guess if the first word out of your AI is honored, maybe the takeover will be friendlier than we fear. But if you ever hear me say, "Maple told me to order an ATM taco, please stage an intervention." And that's the news from the Harriet Herald.
Thank you, Harriet. It's great to have the newscast back. I can tell you from personal experience, it's not easy to try to be funny in front of this group, and we appreciate the effort that goes into every weekly newscast. If you want to join our team of witty newscasters, please see our lead newscaster, Kathy Neese-Brown. Next, we have two announcements. First up is Greg Carter, Managing Director of WRG, followed by Ed Macklin, Insurance Consultant, Champion Commercial Insurance. Greg.
Thank you. Good afternoon. ATM tacos. I think I'd rather have sushi out of the Trinity River. Now, speaking of the Trinity River, this Saturday the 20th, we are taking part of the Trash Bash with TRT. We will be meeting at 8 a.m. at the Panther Island Pavilion. I need 10 volunteers. There are sign-up sheets on the table. We will cross the pedestrian bridge, which is right at Major Ripley's statue, which is in McMillan Plaza, which, by the way, is the Amphin family's ancestry. So thank you, Larry. Some quick thoughts. There is tall grass, so I would wear protection, bring gloves. We will have tacos and coffee, so help us clean up the Trinity.
Thank you, Ann, for being the crowd. That is very difficult to be funny, especially since the other half of my duo is not here today. So, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. And Courtney, I think you had a question. Courtney, I'm so glad you asked that. As a matter of fact, the social committee has not one, but 2 events coming up. The first, please join us for the opening night Ballet Theater's performance of Peter Pan at Bass Hall on Friday, October 3rd. The ballet is offering us a 20% discount on tickets, a VIP intermission cocktail soiree with signature Peter Pan martinis or something in the green room, appropriately so, and a sneak peek at Mary Martin's personal collection of memorabilia from her Broadway stage production of Peter Pan. A limited number of seats are available. I hear they're less than $45, and you can reserve yours today by emailing Brenda at her email address. There's some flyers on the tables. This should be an amazing experience. And then, Kirk, you had a question?
Why don't we ever do anything in the stockyard?
Okay, you need to clean your glasses, Kirk. Kirk, I'm so glad you asked that. We rectified that situation on Tuesday, next slide, there we go, September 23rd, we're having a Rotary After Hours happy hour in the stockyards at Side Saddle Saloon from 5:30 to 7:30. This one will be simple. There's no charge to attend, although both drinks and snacks are on your own. But however, get this, you can park for free, that is $0, in the lot directly adjacent to the Stockyard Station with the code on the screen, and we'll have that available before. We have a QR code next time to sign up. It'll be another amazing Rotary After Hours. They have plenty of happy hour specials, so saddle up your horse, cowboy up, and come to the Side Saddle on the 23rd. Look forward to seeing everyone there on the 23rd and also at Bass Hall on October 3rd for Peter Pan. Back to you, President Ann.
Thank you, Greg and Ed. And now, here is Board Secretary Karen Telshaw Johnson, owner principal of Telshaw Johnson Law, PLLC, who has 4 first readings of potential members. Karen.
Thank you. We just keep growing. That's awesome. All right, so our first reading is John Hernandez, title VP, Trust Relationship Manager with First Classification, Banking and Finance, proposer, Aubrey Gideon. So our second first reading, Keegan Hand, Chief Development Officer, Lena Pope, Classification Nonprofit, Child and Family Services, proposer, Christina Judge. Number 3, Ryan Perucci, Global Sales Agent with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, Classification Real Estate, proposer, Ed McGlynn. And final, last but not least, Emily Messer, President of Texas Wesleyan University, Classification, Higher Education, and proposer, Gary Stout. If no written objections are received in the Rotary office by September 19th, those proposals will be given second readings and voted on by this club. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. If you know of persons who are interested in joining the Rotary Club of Fort Worth, please see our membership committee co-chairman, either Deanna Stewart or Rebecca Montgomery, who can help with the membership process and paperwork. We also have a blue badge presentation today to Ricky Baldwin. Ricky has completed his 6 acts of service as a new member, and I'm looking for Ricky. Come get your blue badge, Ricky. Tell us what you did and your favorite act of service.
Well, my favorite act of service was actually getting to meet all the members and visitors that was coming in. So I spent a lot of time up front greeting folks, welcoming to the Rotary. So that gave me an opportunity to meet members and see potential members coming in.
All right. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And now, on with our program. I am happy to introduce Rotarian Rosa Maria Verdeja, Principal Attorney, the Law Office of Rosa Maria Verdeja. And I'm also pleased to say that she is Chair-elect of the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Board. And I think we should congratulate her on that. She's going to introduce our speaker. Rosa?
Hello. First thing first, let me pose so Larry can take my photo. Thank you. He always gets me with my mouth open looking like a zombie, but not today, Larry, not today. I am very excited to be here today. And as Ann mentioned, I have the honor of serving as the chair-elect of the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And it is through that capacity that I have had the privilege of getting to know today's speaker, our exceptional president, Erica Garza. Erica is not just an extraordinary leader. She is a passionate advocate for solutions that foster wealth creation and economic opportunity within our business community. Coming from a family of entrepreneurs and a small business owner herself, Erica possesses a deep understanding of both the challenges and opportunities that come with building a business. This firsthand experience makes her an invaluable asset everywhere she goes. With more than 2 decades of executive leadership experience at renowned companies like Aubon Payne, Young Brands, Boston Pizza International, and 7-Eleven Inc., she has successfully built businesses, developed leaders, and opened doors for many in the franchising sector. Erica also co-founded the Empower Her Conference, which has united over 600 women leaders in franchising. And she has conducted franchise boot camps in both English and Spanish. Her remarkable contributions have earned her recognition as one of Latino Leaders Magazine's 100 most influential Latinas in the United States for not 1, not 2, but for 3 years in a row. Her dedication to the advancement of others, along with her innovative approach and unwavering commitment to giving back, are shaping the future not just of the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, but also our cities. Without further delay, please join me in giving a warm Rotary welcome to Erica Garza.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Excellent. Let me get my stuff here together. I want to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity and this platform to be here. I especially want to thank Rosie for not only being part of our board, but also inviting our entire team to be here. So thank you. But I also want to share with you that I have a tremendous respect for individuals that live on a daily basis to advancing the lives of others. So thank you very much. I also want to thank our board members that are here. I want to thank Mr. Ben Robertson for being so kind and for doing us the honor of having my entire team sitting at your table, which brings a tremendous smile to my face, so thank you. And I see some of our members here, and I'm just so glad that I have this opportunity. I was asked here to share with you guys where I've been, what I've learned, and where you guys got an opportunity probably to read my bio and the tremendous things that Rosie had to say about me. But what is not in the bio is the obstacles, but the opportunities that have been given to me. So I come from an entrepreneurship family. I am the youngest of three. I was raised in the construction and lumber business in a border town of Mexico. I was very fortunate to see my parents on a day-to-day basis living and working to improve our lives and the quality of lives, not only for us, but for others, but particularly for us. So I had a first-hand seat to a VIP section of what business means, but I also had a VIP section at a very young age, what it's like to build an empire and how to see how an empire crashes. And that was really hard for us to see that, but it was one of my greatest learnings, and it was also one of my many motivators to become today and to work so hard in the career that I have. See, a lot of you might be asking yourselves, well, we heard her bio and she's worked this and she has a small business herself. How does she do the transition from profit to nonprofit? And the question is actually very, very simple. And the response is actually gladly that I can tell you that I see from the profit to the nonprofit parallels that are very, very similar. See, my background is dedicated to entrepreneurship. My background is built upon understanding and comprehending how hard it is for obstacles to be knocked down and to be removed. My background is also built upon understanding financial capacity and opportunities for others. But most importantly, the biggest part that I take is not only naturally doing it, but being a motivator and a person, whether it's this position or others that I have, or in my personal life, is to continue opening pathways for others. For some that continue to struggle, and for others where the struggle has gotten easier. So for me, to have taken this role was a very natural fit for me. Very natural because every day I get to understand more the challenges. Every day at the chamber we get to see certain curveballs that hit us. Every day we have the honor to figuring out solutions. And every day we get the opportunity how to create a different opportunity and give somebody or families or business or corporations a sense of ease. So everything that I shared with you is what has led me to be the CEO and president of the chamber. I really do not want to be selfish and keep this gem from you, because every day I get to see the things that inspire me. I do want to give you guys a window of my world and what I get to experience on a daily basis. And for you, some of you who are members can probably completely understand what I'm going to share with you. And for the ones who are not members but know a little bit about the chamber, I really hope this inspires you and it gives you just a little bit of joy and a little bit of that I get to share with you of what I do and what I see. Through this window, I see a team that I consider truly beloved. They are complimented almost daily for their compassion and service. They don't just do their jobs, they lift up people. And I could not be prouder of them. Entrepreneurs who remind me of the American dream, building businesses from faith and grit and creating jobs and inspiring others. Families standing shoulder to shoulder, parents, children, and siblings pulling together to keep businesses alive and dreams intact. Resilience that humbles me. Instead of giving up, our members turn obstacles into strengths. Outstanding contributors to the economy, Latino-owned businesses who aren't just participants, they are drivers of Fort Worth's growth. A chamber that is relentlessly proactive, always anticipating needs and finding solutions. And every time I look through this window, I am reminded that all of this is possible because of the structure beneath it and the foundation built more than 52 years ago from our founders. Resilience, advocacy, outreach, and support, that foundation makes this view possible for me every day. And it is what we continue to build upon. So I invite you guys to come and see a little bit of what I get to see every day when I walk in the door. And with everything that I shared with you guys, and when I talk about resilience and contributions, I just don't mean it in the abstract. I see it every day in our members, people who are not only business leaders, but community builders. Let me share two examples that speak for themselves. Number one, Don Goyo Bakery. Don Goyo Bakery today has 2 panaderias, which we are regulars of going. Don Goyo is in the process today of building his 3rd bakery, 12,000 square feet. That's pretty big, isn't it? Don Goyo, whose work and leadership not only have created economic opportunity, but also strengthened the culture of several local neighborhoods. He is in the process of opening his 3rd location. He is going to be recognized this year as Businessman of the Year at our gala, September 20th. And just to kind of give you a little bit of his humbleness from his heart and the success of his business, that you can see that on a weekly, he sells 54,000 conchas. He provided assorted conchas for you guys to take, and they're still warm and packaged, so we hope that you enjoy them. Thank you. That just speaks to him. And the other individual that I want to share with you guys is attorney Manuel Hernandez, who stands out not only as a professional leader, but also as someone investing in people, creating pathways and giving back in ways that ripple across Fort Worth. Most recently, he was awarded the Hispanic Business Salute from Telemundo, NBC, and UPS, which just happened this week. These are just 2 of hundreds of stories. They remind us that behind every business is a family, history, and a contribution that lifts all of us here in Fort Worth. And when you see the economic impact that Latinos bring, which is the dollar engine and growth cornerstone, Don Goyo, Manuel Hernandez, and many others demonstrate what Latino leadership looks like in Fort Worth. But their stories are part of something much larger. When you add up the impact of millions of entrepreneurs, workers, and families like theirs, you see the national picture. Latinos are the $1 trillion engine of the US economy. We have reached 4.1 trillion, which makes us the 5th largest economy in the world, and we continue to plan fueling and being the economic power for this nation, and particularly for Fort Worth. So thank you for the ones that support us in the small businesses and contributing to our members. Wanted to show you just a quick slide where we are from a local and national level. You can see here, there is actually a little bit of typo on that slide, but we actually have 891 members. We've got 56 corporate members. We have over 70 plus events that continue to keep growing, and over 9,000 attendees to our events. And that makes us the 4th Mexican-American Chamber of Commerce in Texas. I have it here. If we can go to the next slide, please. I think I'm good. Sorry about that. Yes, sorry. Let's go back to the north side because that's very important. Apologies for that. Here we go. And here at home, the story comes to life at the historic North Side. The historic North Side is one of the most beautiful communities in Fort Worth, right at the intersection of downtown, Panther Island, and the Stockyards. It is a neighborhood with deep root and cultural pride, and it is also in an area where the Chamber has stepped into support for growth. In 2022, the city selected the North Side as one of its first Main Street pilot corridors, and the Hispanic Chamber was honored to serve as the managing partner, with our very own chamber located in the best areas of town. Since then, we've been working closely with businesses and residents to strengthen storefronts, support small business owners, and highlight the identity of the historic corridor. The city recently extended the program for 2 more years, a clear sign that our work is making an impact, and that's their confidence in what we're building together. For us, this is not about pointing to the challenges, but also celebrating a beautiful community, preserving its history, and helping it grow into the future. Stronger together, as I mentioned earlier, our team and our committees. We have an advocacy committee, events committee, scholarship committee, historic Northside, capital access council, ambassadors, our procurement council, and our BRG task force. And I'm proud to say that we are a team of 8 today at the chamber. Next slide, please. And this is our strategic mapping. The work that we do at the chamber, the support that we get, the opportunities for programming, the opportunities to help others could not make it possible if it wasn't for our partners. With our mentorship, Alturista, we have TCU and many more. And so I want to thank a lot of you are here. We've got our Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber business pitch, our seminarios, our contractor accelerator, Audaz Leadership Program, Grounds for Connection, and Lanzar Fort Worth. We can go to the milestones, please. Thank you. I want to share with you from vision to impact and our milestones. August 2025, we had signed a contract with the City of Fort Worth, education on supply chain and procurement. That is what we are going to be focusing the Hispanic Chamber. September 2025, we will launch the mentorship program. October 2025, launch the historic Northside District Town Hall and Strategic. November 2025, launch our Community Action Committee for the historic Northside. February 2026 will be our very first trip to Toluca in partnership with Sister Cities that we hope that all of you can join us. March 2026, launch of our leadership program. In May 2026, launch of Accelerator for Contractors. In June 2026, LULAC National Conference. We hope that you move forward with us, and I want to share with you some of the events that we have coming up. This Saturday, we're very excited as we wrap up summer, Sonidos del Summer at Marine Park. We have Fiestas Patrias as we launch Hispanic National Heritage. Fiestas Patrias Stockyard, we will be in the parade. We'll have El Grito at La Gran Plaza. We'll be at City Council as well on September 16th. We have our Gala H1 Fort Worth. And we will be launching our mentorship launch and networking, Impact Fort Worth Leadership Summer, and of course in December, our State of the Chamber. This is why I believe so deeply in the Chamber's mission. In these last 6 months, which today marks my 6 months here with the Chamber, I have seen how much stronger Fort Worth becomes when we work together, when we fuel the economy by supporting entrepreneurs, when we embrace the richness of our cultures, and when we celebrate the people who make the city vibrant. Our Chamber's mission is clear: to create an opportunity, to drive growth, and to ensure every business has a place in Fort Worth's future. But this doesn't work, nor does it belong to us when we do this alone. It belongs to all of us working side by side. Rotary Club, my invitation is this: let's continue building together. Let's continue to fuel the economy, strengthen our partnerships, and embrace the cultural heritage that defines who we are. And as we mark Hispanic Heritage Month, I invite you to celebrate not only the history and contributions of our community, but also the future we're creating, a future of growth, inclusion, and prosperity for all of Fort Worth. Once again, thank you for having me. Thank you for being so patient. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and super excited to launch Hispanic Heritage with you guys. And John, lastly, I want to thank you for sponsoring this and for giving us the opportunity to be here. Very much appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Absolutely. I am open for any Q&A that you guys might have. I'm sorry, John.
Most people know your predecessor, and that your overnight was a rock star. I was very glad to meet you.
Thank you.
Since last month, and I know that the Chamber's in good hands. Tell us what your biggest challenge has been, either from the perspective of coming in behind a strong personality like that, or just in general. What was the biggest challenge to come in out of the private sector?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I think it's a very common question that I get in this role. You know, in my honest opinion, I think it's always good when you have different perspectives, you have different styles. Some people, might appreciate it. Some people hopefully see, the business acumen that I bring to the table, the compassion that I bring to the table, and most importantly, the genuine spirit of growing the business. Following somebody that I think has a, I would probably say almost like a movie star profile here. Incredibly happy for her. I have to tell you, as a Latina woman, to be able to stand here and know that in Fort Worth, there are some very strong Latina executives, and Annette happens to be one of them. What I will be forever grateful to her is what she left at the chamber. She left great programs, she left an outstanding reputation, but the biggest gift that she left me besides the business is the team that I inherited. So for that, I'm very grateful for her, that she was able to hire, recruit, and retain such a beautiful team. So thank you for your question, and I hope that that answered. The biggest obstacle that I have in respect to the business is, and I think this is where the business acumen and the negotiations play very strong with my background. Every day, and this is the honest truth, and the chamber could testify to this, every day, without getting political, the biggest thing that we face is how do we solve matters for our members, for our businesses, for our community? Because every day, if not every other day, there's somebody that comes in that is about to lose their business or cannot be a member, or they're concerned about leaving their house because they're completely concerned that ICE is going to be out there for them. So while that's the biggest obstacle for us, it's also the biggest, I guess if you can call it a blessing, that we have a reputation of our members being comfortable to come to our chamber, to be a resource, to be a comfort, to be educational, to open doors, and to give them security and provide for them a pathway. Proud to tell you that at that point, we don't look for membership anymore, nor do we have conversations of how to keep them as members. We have conversations of how do we continue to get you back so we can get your feet back into the business. And so today, that is one of the biggest obstacles that we face in respect to the business. You're welcome.
I appreciated your comment about nonprofit and profit. And as someone who has worked a career with so many different nonprofits, I sometimes am amazed that people in the for-profit part of the community don't see the value of the nonprofits in terms of, you hear the word nonprofit and it sounds like they don't care about money. But what I'd just like for you to reflect on a little bit more is how you as a nonprofit and other nonprofits can collaborate and coordinate and work together in building a stronger community with the for-profit sector.
Yeah, I think in my short 6 months, I'd like to think that I have a really great example to show with you guys. Most of you know that, as of June 24th to August 5th, one of the curveballs that we unexpectedly had to receive, but we had to act really quick on our feet. How are we going to figure this out? Because it's about small business, about members, and how do we create timelines, and how do we create business plans? But the silver lining of all of that was actually working with my peers, which are nonprofit, which was Michelle Green and Steve Montgomery at the Black Chamber and at the Fort Worth Chamber. And so to me, that is a prime example of when you have two chambers, we're all gonna work on different sides of the business, but we do have the same commonality, different communities, but same message of how do we help people, how do we help businesses, whether they're large enterprises or small enterprises. But seeing the beauty and the power of three nonprofit organizations by the way, very diverse, diverse communities, diverse businesses, and being able to work together. I can tell you in a short time, powerful things have come across. Powerful things have happened. I stand here on this podium and I can tell you proudly that I strongly believe that the Hispanic Chamber, with these small programs and contractors and what we've been tasked to do, I strongly believe, with my feet very planted here, that I have the best team that is going to achieve that. But I can also stand here and tell you that some of the things that we do lack is probably the tools of sophistication, or maybe the resources, or maybe more resources that we actually need. But when you work with other organizations like Steve Montgomery at the Fort Worth and recognizes without me having to say anything and say, we have tools, we have resources, we have my office, we have data, we have analytics, whatever you need to achieve it. And so I am a big believer, and this is where my profit experience does come in. You can't do everything by yourself. And when you have strong partnerships, brilliant ideas come out, beautiful plans come out, but most importantly, you're just not throwing ideas that are sticking to the wall. You're actually executing business plans. So to me, that's the parallel, and to me, it's incredibly important. That's where partnerships are really, really strong. So I hope that answered your question.
Erica, the historic North Side, for those of you who are curious about it, really between the railroad tracks and the stockyards with regard to the Main Street program. So we've got Panther Island, which is a slow build, but we all know it's going to be something big someday. And the ascendancy of the stockyards has been remarkable. It's going to continue to grow. What is the vision and the direction and the aspiration of the historic Northside District program?
Thank you, Andy. That's a great question. So I thank you for bringing up Panther Island. Thank you for bringing up the stockyards. I would even say downtown as well. And I'm going to go back. And you do too. That's why I gave you a shout out. But you know what? That's a perfect point in case for the question that you asked me. You know, when I think about the North Side, and when I think about, you know, us getting extended for two more years, I will be the first one to tell you it is a program like the other ones that has its complexity. But the complexity that I see, it's not the community, it's not the people, it's not what it stands for. The complexity is, how do we bring more people on board to help us, to sponsor us, to endorse us, and to believe in the beauty of the community of the North Side? So that's an ask for everybody. But when I think about Panther Island, and when I think about the stockyards, and when I think about downtown, you know, I stand back and I look at it and say, wow, these are beautiful corridors. These are beautiful. They have huge anchors of endorsement. They've got funding here, they got funding there. And I see the North Side and I think about, we have the prime real estate. We're sitting right in the middle of one of the most beautiful areas in the North Side. And we happen to have our office there proudly. That's the thing about partnership. In my ideal world, and in my efforts, current efforts, is how do we get all of us to work together? Everybody has its unique character. Nobody has the character that the North Side has. Nor do I pretend I have the character that the Stockyard has, or downtown, or Panther Island. Everybody has their unique beauty. And if we all partner together and actually support us and view it that way, and you decide to go for a weekend once all of this is built out, you will get a true experience of the rodeo, of the Latinos, of the Panther, and then downtown. That's the vision I have. That's the goal that I have. And I can tell you that the person that's working on the Historic Northside program is sitting right here and has done an incredible and excellent job. Everybody, it's hard work. I see it every day. I don't know if I understood it the first 6 months. I came in with such a business mindset of where's the key actions? I need the timelines. I need to see the progress. It's hard work, but that hard work cannot be done. As much as the Hispanic Chamber, it's under our roof. We believe in it. And we have incredible strategic partners helping, but it requires more. It requires strong anchors. It requires people to come and see the North Side, spend some time there, help us improve it, help our neighbors, help us preserve it. And I do have to give a special shout out to Paul Payne at the Stockyards, who is not here. But he is one of the first that has sat, not once, but many times at the Hispanic Chamber with us to say, I want to help you preserve this beautiful culture. I am here to see how we preserve it, how we weave it, how we work together. You've been part of our meetings. And to that, I hope that I've given you more than one example when it comes to partnerships and how we're supposed to support each other. So I leave you with one ask that was not planned, but the ask is to please support us, and please take an interest to understand, to volunteer, or to just get to know what's happening in the historic North Side. That is my ask. And before I leave, I want to say I apologize for the presentation. As you can see, I'm more of a natural speaker. I speak from the heart, and I speak from my business acumen of what I know. But I know that my time is limited, so I pressured myself to go through slides. And once again, I confirm I am not a good person in PowerPoint to be going through slides. So I hope I did somewhat of a good recovery with my last. Thank you. Thank you.
Erica, thank you so much. It's a tradition of the Rotary Club of Fort Worth to make a contribution in your name to the Polio Plus Fund of Rotary International. Rotary has been working on eradicating polio for more than 35 years, and during that time has played a significant part in reducing polio cases by 99.99%. So we have made a gift in your honor. Thank you for sharing your program today about the Hispanic Chamber. And I know you're going to have a great year with Rosa as your board chair.
Oh, thank you.
Please come back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry. One last thing. Don't forget tongoyos. Take them home. Take as many as you want. They're still warm. And so thank you, guys.
There's 3 big boxes in the back. I can see them
on your
from
way
here.
out.
Yes. As we wrap up today's meeting, we want to thank Black Tie Real Estate again for being today's program sponsor, and remind everyone of the upcoming Crazy Pants Golf Tournament on October 20th. Thanks also to Chip Schweiger for serving as our greeter, to Josh Friend for taking our last-minute notes, to Johnny Anderson for registering members, Karen Anfin for handling guest registration, and to our crack AV team of Chris Jordan and Tom Law. It takes a lot of Rotarians to fill all of our meeting roles, and we appreciate all of you who volunteer to make our meetings run smoothly. Thank you, yes. Next week, we will welcome John Weaver, CEO, who will be celebrating Weaver's 75th anniversary of accounting services in Fort Worth with us. The Veterans Committee will be meeting in the President's Conference Room immediately following our meeting, and that's on the 11th floor. And that's it. Thank you. Have a great weekend. The meeting is adjourned.